He's resigned. Wow, what can I say?
What a result.
Phenomenal, right?
You start out with a masterpiece. How would you summarize it?
Chess speaks for itself.
Is it something special doing this against Magnus, Hans? Is it something special doing this against Magnus, Hans?
H4 and G4 setup because it doesn't, yeah. And there we have it.
Handshake.
There we have it.
Wow.
What a result.
Breaking news, a tweet from the world chess champion Magnus Carlsen.
Yeah,
he has withdrawn.
Wait, what's going on? Oh my gosh, we have a tweet. I've withdrawn from the tournament. I've always enjoyed playing at St. Louis Chess Club and hope to be back in the future.
I think he's just so demoralized because he's losing to such an idiot like me, you know? It's just, it must be embarrassing for the world champion to lose to me.
We have an update to the cheating allegations against Hans Niemann.
Also, Hans Niemann already arrived.
I don't think he cheated in the Singfield Cup, but everything else is still up in the air.
Sorry, Alejandro, I just have to interrupt you. And Magnus has logged off. What has happened?
Magnus has resigned.
Many grew suspicious when one of the greatest chess players on the planet, Magnus Carlsen, withdrew from his online match against Niemann, suspecting foul play.
I think it's fair to be suspicious of somebody who literally self-admittedly cheated online and is now crushing people over the board.
Either he knows something we don't, and that needs to come to light, or it's incredibly disrespectful.
Meanwhile, Niemann continues going on the offensive.
When I was 16 years old during my streaming career, in an absolutely ridiculous mistake, in unrated games, after that, when I was 12, I have never, ever in my life cheated in an over-the-board game, in an online tournament. They were in unrated games. I am proud of myself that I learned from that mistake and now have given everything to chess.
At the time, the Wall Street Journal had a really good breakdown of what could potentially be transpiring before our very eyes.
One of the best-known methods involves trips to the bathroom to secretly look at a phone equipped with a chess engine. Since experienced players are able to memorize the board and input it into chess software, they don't necessarily need a collaborator to cheat.
FIDE, chess's governing body, would conduct an investigation and release their findings. Now, we're going to read this, but I want everyone to pay attention to the language that is used. FIDE analysis found no evidence that Niemann had cheated in live over-the-board contests, though it also noted the difficulty of detecting cheating, which may have occurred at the time of a single move. Niemann, who admitted to receiving some illegal assistance in online games as a teenager, has always denied any impropriety in games played in person. This feels so Mueller-ish, doesn't it? It's quite astonishing. We found he didn't cheat, but he may have kind of cheated a little bit. That's the reading. The findings were outlined in a 15-page decision laying out the facts, though it would later omit relevant ones, wrote El Pais. Niemann beat Carlsen with the black pieces in September of 2022, a very prestigious annual tournament that was held in St. Louis, Missouri. It's called the Singfield Cup, where rigorous preventive anti-cheating measures had been taken. Daily inspections of the area, players scanned with detectors, as well as random searches after the matches. Players not allowed to bring electronics, no watches, no pens, no arbiters observing players during play. The playing area covered with cameras, no spectators allowed, limited access to external VIPs and media. All games also, importantly, analyzed by Professor Kenneth Reagan, considered to be the world's leading expert in detection using his statistical algorithm. For his withdrawal and the suspicions that he raised publicly, Magnus Carlsen was fined almost $11,000 for his conduct. After Niemann admitted to cheating in the age range of 12 years old to 16 years old, Magnus Carlsen fired back, believing Hans had cheated more often and more recently than he has admitted. But he didn't clarify whether he was also referring to over-the-board tournaments. To Niemann's point of, it only happened when I was 12 to 16, Chess.com would publish a detailed report that Hans had indeed cheated when he was 16, but also 17. From CNN, FIDE's report said that analysis from Professor Reagan showed instances of cheating by Niemann in around 32 to 55 games on the online chess platform. That is far less than the 100 suggested by Chess.com. So thus we have an agreement and a disagreement. The agreement is Hans Niemann did cheat, and he cheated many times. The disagreement is the number of games, and that the findings of chess.com with 100 games, according to a different report, seems that is overblown. What say you? Importantly, the report also said there was no statistical evidence to support Grandmaster Hans Niemann cheating in over-the-board games in an analysis of 13 tournaments over the past 3 years. Niemann would try his best at damage control through his attorneys. They would file a $100 million defamation lawsuit against chess.com, but a judge would dismiss it.